My name is Kyle Welch. I'm a professor at George Washington University in the accounting unit. I started off my career graduating from Brigham Young University with a master's in accounting and undergrad in accounting. And I started working at Standard & Poor's. I was part of a corporate value consulting group there for a few years, and then I transitioned to working at the Stanford University Endowment. I was one of the investors there for about 3.5 years or so. When I showed up, the endowment was worth about $15 billion. It went up to about $20 billion, and then by the time I left, it was back at $15 billion. So basically, I didn't add any value when I was there. So I left, and I did a doctorate at Harvard Business School, and I studied accounting during my doctorate. And I graduated, and I started working at George Washington University, and this is my 4th year here, and I love this place. And I've been teaching financial reporting here for each one of those years. So there's a lot of opportunities that come with being in Washington, D.C. when it comes to accounting. In a lot of big cities like New York or Chicago, there's plenty of large businesses that are there. Being in the nation's capital, you have the advantage of being around not only large businesses, but also a lot of government entities. And so there's a lot of demand for jobs related to reporting, monitoring, and analyzing financial statements. And even beyond that, as far as a hub for consulting and understanding what's going on inside of the business, accounting provides a basic framework that if you want a job at an investment bank, if you want a job at a consulting firm, it's a critical language that you must understand to be able to get these jobs. And so there are lots of jobs as it relates to simply being an accountant, but also there's a lot of opportunities for someone that understands the language of accounting and operations. All right, so what's the difference between getting a bachelor's in accounting and getting a concentration in accounting? The difference is basically what you want out of your education. If you are looking to get a job at consulting firms, at investment banking firms, at investment firms, at audit firms, or a tax firm, or local accounting firm, or working in a business in their reporting unit, doing the accounting degree is likely the best path as far as utilizing your time in your coursework for what you know you want to do. If there's some uncertainty about what you want to do, but you like accounting and you want to have a little bit of other exposure when you're in college, you might consider the concentration so that you can get time to take other classes, maybe in the humanities department or wherever your other interests are. But if you already kind of know where your path is and kind of the direction you want to go, I recommend getting the degree in accounting as opposed to the concentration. But if you're open to a lot of different things, then the concentration will fit your needs. This is an important one because I was in the situation as a student getting an accounting degree, and it wasn't until my last year that I realized the actual wide variety of jobs available and demanding somebody that understood accounting. So there's natural ones that come to mind when people study accounting. They think of working at either local or the big 4 accounting firms doing audit or tax, and these are great jobs. But in addition to that, jobs on Wall Street. When you go to Wall Street, you spend the first 2-3 weeks, they're just trying to train you in accounting. And where you get selected into which group depends on how good that training goes. In consulting firms, in order for you to come into a business and identify where the costs are, where the problems are, where they can drive revenue, you have to understand accounting. In those type of jobs, an accounting concentration is really valuable because you know the workings and language of a business. Even in jobs that you would think that are less available to accounting are actually quite. When you understand accounting and you go into an R&D department, when you understand accounting and you go into a marketing department, you're able to understand where the components are of cost drivers that concern management and the things that are going possibly wrong in the operations when it comes to excess expenditures, variance of costs analysis. There's a wide variety of opportunities for a degree in accounting. And the key difference, I would say, with a degree in accounting is when you leave the school and you have the accounting degree, people can look at you and say, I know that this person can do this. They understand what a financial statement looks like. They understand where the operations go. They understand what drives profit, what drives losses, and what needs to be possibly changed to do that. A lot of other degrees don't quite get you that crystal clear signal, but the accounting degree does. So in my field, because accounting covers a lot of different things, I keep up to date just by reading the Wall Street Journal. I hear about the most recent financial statement issue. The things you see when you look at the news, it opens up a whole new world about understanding what's going on, what are the key drivers of success, and where the problems are. And so I just really enjoy looking at the news because I like figuring these things out. Yeah, I would say that a lot of times you look at your college experience and I could say a lot of people have a lot of missed opportunities when it comes to the experience of school. There was something that was said to me when I was an undergrad, which was don't let your schooling get in the way of your education. And I don't think there's any place that could be more true than here. While coursework is super important, the things that you can learn by being at George Washington University, by being at this city, especially being where we are now, are amazing. And so the advice I would give to any student is every opportunity that you have locally from being here in DC, take advantage of it, and leave the place with no regrets.